The mirror arrived on a rainy Thursday. Elena Mercer didn't remember ordering it. It leaned against the wall outside her apartment door, wrapped in yellowed cloth and tied with thin twine. No delivery label, no note. "Okay, that's creepy," she muttered. Her neighbor, Aaron Cole, was passing by with groceries. "Expecting a haunted artifact?" he joked. Elena laughed. "If I die tonight, you're my first suspect." They carried it inside. When the cloth came off, the mirror revealed an ornate black frame, carved with twisting vines and tiny faces that looked almost human. Aaron whistled. Antique, probably expensive. Elena tilted her head at her reflection. It's beautiful. But something about the glass felt deeper, like looking into water instead of a mirror. Aaron left after a while. By midnight, Elena was brushing her teeth when she glanced toward the mirror again. She froze. For a second, she wasn't alone in the reflection. A man stood behind her. Tall, pale, dark hair. Elena spun around. The room was empty. Her heart hammered. She slowly turned back to the mirror. Only her reflection stared back. "Okay," she whispered nervously. "I need sleep." The next night, it happened again. She was fixing her hair when the man appeared in the reflection, standing several feet behind her. He didn't move. He just watched. Elena's breath caught. "Hello?" she whispered. The man smiled faintly. She spun around again. Nothing. Back to the mirror. He was still there. Her voice shook. "How are you doing that?" The man in the mirror lifted a hand slowly. Not toward her, toward the glass. His fingers pressed against the inside of it. Elena stumbled backward, knocking over a chair. The reflection vanished instantly. She tried to ignore it for days, but the man kept appearing. Always in the mirror, always silent. Until one night, he spoke. "Don't be afraid." Elena dropped the book she was holding. "You can talk?" she whispered. His voice sounded distant, like echoing through water. "I've watched you for so long." Her stomach twisted. "That's not comforting." He chuckled softly. "My name is Victor." "Victor what?" He paused. "Just Victor." Elena crossed her arms. "Why are you in my mirror?" "I'm not in the mirror." "Then where are you?" He leaned closer to the glass. "Close to you." Despite the fear, curiosity grew. Night after night, Elena found herself standing in front of the mirror, talking to him. Victor asked about her life, her job, her childhood. He listened intensely, too intensely. "You're beautiful when you laugh," he told her once. Elena frowned. "You're watching me when I'm not here, aren't you?" "I see you often." "That's really creepy, Victor. But I adore you." The word adore made her uneasy. "You don't know me." "I know everything." A chill ran through her spine. One evening, Aaron visited again. "You look like you haven't slept in weeks," he said. Elena hesitated. "You're going to think I'm crazy." "Try me." She pointed at the mirror. "There's a man in there." Aaron raised an eyebrow. "A hot one or a serial killer one?" "Not funny." He stepped in front of the mirror. "Hello, mysterious mirror man." Nothing happened. Aaron shrugged. "Looks empty." Elena turned toward the glass. Victor stood there, smiling, watching Aaron. Slowly, Victor's smile faded. His eyes narrowed. "Who is that?" Victor asked quietly. Elena stiffened. "My friend." Victor's voice dropped to a whisper. "I don't like him." Things changed after that. Victor appeared more often. Sometimes when she didn't even stand in front of the mirror. Sometimes when she simply passed by. Watching. Always watching. "You shouldn't let that man visit," Victor said one night. Elena's patience snapped. "You don't get to control my life. I'm protecting you." "From what?" "From people who want you. That's normal, Victor. They don't deserve you." His expression twisted slightly. "You're mine." A wave of cold fear rushed through her. "No," Elena said firmly, "I'm not." Victor stared silently. Then he smiled again, but this time it looked wrong. The following night, Elena came home late. Her apartment door was slightly open. Her stomach dropped. "Aaron?" she called cautiously. No answer. She stepped inside. The mirror stood in the corner, but the glass looked darker. Victor was already there, standing closer than ever. "You scared me," she said nervously. His voice was softer than before. "You had a visitor today." Elena froze. "What?" "A man." Her blood ran cold. "How would you know that?" Victor tilted his head. "Because I met him." Her heart began pounding violently. "That's not funny." "He knocked on your door." Victor slowly lifted his hand. In the mirror, it pressed outward. The glass bulged slightly, like thin ice. Elena staggered back. "You can't come out," she whispered. Victor smiled wider. "You brought me closer every night." Crack. A thin fracture spread across the mirror. "You talked to me." Crack. "You looked at me." Another crack split the surface. "You loved me." "I never loved you," Elena shouted. Victor's face darkened. "You will." The mirror shattered outward, and suddenly, the reflection was gone, but the man was standing in the room. Behind her, Elena felt a cold breath on her neck. Victor whispered gently, "I told you." I was close. Elena's body locked in place. She didn't turn around. She didn't breathe. Behind her, Victor's voice slid through the air like cold smoke. "You're shaking." A pale hand slowly appeared beside her shoulder. "Real, not a reflection," Elena whispered. "This isn't possible." Victor stepped closer. She could feel the cold radiating from his body. "I waited so long to touch your world." Her voice trembled. "Go back." "I can't." She finally forced herself to turn. Victor looked exactly like he had in the mirror. Tall, elegant, pale skin, dark eyes that seemed too deep for a human face. His clothes looked old, like something from another era. But what truly terrified her, his feet made no sound on the floor. "How are you here?" she asked. Victor smiled gently. "You opened the door." "I did not." "You looked into the mirror every night." He stepped closer. Every conversation made the barrier thinner. Elena grabbed the nearest thing she could reach, a lamp, and held it between them. "Stay back." Victor's expression softened like she had hurt his feelings. You're afraid of me. Yes, I would never harm you. His eyes darkened slightly, but others might. A loud knock suddenly echoed from the hallway. Elena? Erin's voice. Relief flooded her chest. Erin, she shouted. Victor's head snapped toward the door. His expression changed instantly. The softness vanished. Something older and darker surfaced in his eyes. He shouldn't be here, Victor whispered. Erin! Elena ran toward the door. Victor moved faster. He appeared in front of her without a sound. The lamp in her hand flickered violently. You keep choosing him, Victor said. I'm choosing reality. Another knock. Elena, your door was open earlier. Are you okay? Victor's jaw tightened. He's been here before. Yes, because he's my friend. Victor leaned close to her face. You don't need friends. His voice lowered. You only need me. The knocking grew louder. Elena, I'm coming in. Victor's eyes flared with sudden fury. No. The lights in the apartment exploded. Glass bulbs shattered. Darkness swallowed the room. The door burst open. Elena? Erin stepped inside, holding his phone flashlight. The beam swept across the apartment. Broken glass, the shattered mirror frame on the floor. Elena? She stumbled toward him from the darkness. Erin! Victor appeared behind her. Only Erin saw him, and Erin froze. What the hell? He whispered. Victor tilted his head slowly. You can see me. Elena turned. Erin, run! Too late. The temperature in the room dropped instantly. Erin's breath turned white. Victor walked closer, studying him like an insect. You're always here. Erin grabbed Elena's arm. We're leaving. Victor's voice sharpened. No. The apartment door slammed shut by itself. Erin yanked the handle. It wouldn't move. Elena whispered, Victor, please. Victor's eyes returned to her. Immediately the rage softened. I don't want to hurt you. But you're hurting people. They take you away from me. His voice cracked slightly. You were supposed to understand me. Elena's fear mixed with something else now. Pity. How long were you in that mirror? Victor's gaze drifted back to the broken frame on the floor. A long time. Who put you there? Victor didn't answer. Instead, his eyes slowly lifted toward Erin again. And now he wants to take you away. Erin stepped forward. Buddy, whatever ghost dimension you crawled out of? Victor's head snapped toward him. The air violently twisted. Erin slammed against the wall as if something invisible grabbed him. Elena, he gasped. Stop, Elena screamed. Victor's eyes burned. You keep choosing him. I choose my life. Victor looked wounded. Your life was lonely. That doesn't mean I belong to you. Victor slowly lowered Erin. Erin collapsed to the floor, coughing. Silence filled the apartment. Victor stared at Elena for a long moment. Then he whispered softly, I crossed eternity for you. Elena's voice shook. I never asked you to. Victor's face slowly hardened. Something fragile inside him seemed to break. If I return to the mirror. His voice became hollow. You'll forget me. Elena didn't respond. Victor took another step toward her. But if you come with me, he extended his hand, we can stay together forever. The broken mirror frame behind him began to glow faintly. A dark reflection formed in the empty air. Another world. Cold Silent. Waiting. Aaron whispered hoarsely from the floor. Elena, don't. Victor's eyes pleaded. For once, choose me. The reflection widened like a doorway. Cold wind poured into the room. Victor's hand waited. Elena stared at it. Behind her, Aaron struggled to stand. Before her, eternity opened. Victor whispered one last time, "Come with me." And Elena had to decide. The wind from the growing mirror void howled through the apartment. Elena's hair whipped around her face. Papers lifted from the table and spiraled into the air. Victor's hand remained stretched toward her, waiting. "Come with me," he whispered again. Behind her, Aaron staggered to his feet, clutching his ribs. "Elena, listen to me," he said breathlessly. "That thing isn't love." Victor's eyes flashed. Silence. Aaron's body lifted slightly off the floor again. Elena stepped forward quickly. "Stop." Victor froze. Aaron dropped hard onto the ground again. Elena's voice shook, but grew firmer. "You said you loved me." Victor nodded slowly. "I do." "Then you don't get to hurt people I care about." Victor looked confused, almost childlike. "But he hurts you." "No, he doesn't," Victor gestured toward Aaron. "He takes your time, your attention, your laughter. That's what friends do." Victor's voice sharpened. "That's what thieves do." The mirror portal behind him widened, stretching across the broken frame like a black lake in the air. Shapes moved beneath its surface. Not human shapes. Elena noticed them, and her stomach twisted. "What is that place?" Victor followed her gaze. "My world." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "There are other things in there." Victor didn't answer. That silence said enough. Aaron slowly approached her side. "Elena, whatever he is, that place isn't safe." Victor's eyes darkened. "They won't harm her." Aaron scoffed weakly. "They look hungry." Victor's calm mask cracked again. "They fear me." Elena swallowed. "Victor, why were you in the mirror?" For the first time, he hesitated. "I wasn't always trapped." The wind softened slightly as he spoke. "Once, I lived among people." "When?" Elena asked. "Long before this city existed." His voice sounded older now. "I loved someone once." Elena felt a chill. "What happened?" Victor's gaze drifted to the floor. "She feared me." Aaron muttered. "I can see why." Victor ignored him. "She sealed me away." "In the mirror?" Elena asked. Victor nodded. "With others." Elena's blood ran cold. "So you've been trapped there for centuries?" Victor looked back at her. "And then you found me." His voice softened again. "You listened to me. You saw me." He stepped closer. "And I saw you." Elena's chest tightened. Part of her felt sympathy. Another part screamed danger. "You don't love me," she said gently. Victor blinked. "You love the idea of someone finally seeing you." His expression slowly hardened. "That's the same thing." "No," she whispered. "It isn't." Behind Victor, something in the mirror shifted. A long shadow against the inside of the portal. Thanks for listening. Wait for part 2. Like and subscribe for more. And those who already liked and subscribed, thank you so much.